for the thick of it all. If they don't give me room, well then I'll give them a while. I'm gonna smoke my tires when the victory calls. I'm gonna be there, be there. I wanna see my face up on the jumbo screen. Feel the white hot metal of a winning machine. Because you win or you lose and there's no in between. I wanna be there, be there, be there.
NASCAR on speed. Be there.
It all comes down to one race around a 1.5-mile oval in Florida. We're at the Homestead Miami Speedway for the running of the Chevy 250, race number 28, chase race number 10. It all comes down to this, for 4 drivers fighting for the Pennzoil Truck Series Championship. On the pole is Tim Gary in the 44, 2's outside, one of them has a shot at the championship. Steve Morgan is 2 points out of the points lead. This could be a big night for him with a great starting position. But right by him in third, Mathis Wells is only 1 point out of the points lead, second in points. Another great starting position for a championship contender. In fourth, we have JJ Reed, and ranking out the top 5 is Landon Lyons. In sixth, it's William Bolin. Seventh is Steve Larker. Jonathan Beeford in eighth. Ninth is Sebastian Kukulon, and Isaac Nichols rounds out the top 10. For the rest of the field, we have Code Luigi 2's inside Colton Yo. Then there's Riley Sprague and Myatt McDonald. Then you have Levi Schoen and Alan Bowman, along with Luke Rainey and Tim Randolph. Then you have Carson Bowers and Michael Canto, Stephen Taylor and Stephen Baker. Then you have Zachary Fitzwater with Alex Stewart. And there's Jeff Bright and Mark Owens. Oliver Galloway with Michael Ferris. And then there's Diego Yepes starting 29th, your points leader coming into this race. It's going to be very crucial for him to get up towards the front and battle with those fellow chasers. TJ Reed to his outside. Then you have Marcus Satcher, who's outside Jack Canaramo, the long shot coming into this race for the championship. He's 7 points out of the championship lead, but if the 3 drivers in front of him have issues, he can definitely pounce and take advantage to get that championship. They have Keith Stevens and Justin Zeidel, and in the final row, Derek Hamill, the 17, who's outside the 18 of Trey Rainey. That is your starting lap for the Chevy 250 at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Let's get this thing started. Let's go down trackside. Get our command to fire the engines here for the championship race.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
All right, boys, pace and rhythm all day today. Driver's compartment, crew chief, pit crew. Pace and rhythm all day, that's all we need.
This is the final race of season number 4. The final time these 36 drivers will roll off the starting grid in their respective trucks here this season. 26 laps, 4 drivers, only one of them will leave as champion. So far, we've had 3 different champions in the Pennzoil Truck Series. We're about to have our 4th this season. Will be Diego Yepes, will be Mathis Wells, will be Steve Morgan, will be Jack Canaramo. We're going to find out 26 laps at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Morgan starts second, Wells starts third. You have Diego Yepes 29th and Canaramo in 32nd. As they come down the front stretch, the green flag is waving. We're in the final race of the Pennzoil Truck Series season number 4. Wells, one of our championship contenders, 1 point behind Yepes, leads lap 1. Now he's going to get forced 3 wide, land lines to the middle lane, but Wells blocks off to the bottom lane. Larker for second in the 6. That was a great move by Wells there, getting that run off the top side to get clear. Now can he keep this race lead is the big question. Down the backstretch of their race. And can anyone try and get up there and challenge that 51 out? If Wells can just stay out front this whole race, it might be his championship to lose. Through 3-4 tight for third. Colton Yells 3 wide to the bottom lane, a little tight underneath the 32 Kukulon. And 2 trucks pull away. It's Wells and Steve Larker in this draft. As down the front stretch, Wells leads lap 2 as well. That 51 truck looks pretty strong out front right now, but once again, if they get a few trucks lined up behind them that can try and make passes, it could bring the whole pack with you. You can see they're going 3 and 4 wide back here. Code Luigi, a big move looking for his first win of the season. Pretty crazy to think about. Last season's champion does not have a win this season, on a little bit of a champion hangover, as some series have called it. Winning that championship sometimes, the next season you do a lot worse. For the lead, Steve Larker on Mathis Wells down the front stretch as they battle 3 wide in the pack. Side by side for the lead, side by side for third. Sprague to get a push from fellow California native called Luigi. As they hit 1 and 2, Larker to the inside, Wells gonna clear him. Steve Larker now up front in the Chevy 250. And here comes Cole Luigi Raspberry to 3 wide. They're going to bring it into the battle with Mathis Wells. Now Wells stuck up top and the 51. And they battle down the backstretch. Other drivers trying to make their way forward. Steve Morgan trying to get on the bomb lane. He wants to get ahead of Mathis Wells and pull away from him. But he's going to get caught to the middle lane. So here comes Code Luigi and Raspberry Tube. Side by side, they have Kukulon with them. So they come down the front stretch, side by side for a second. Code Luigi looking for the lead. Kukulon looking 3 wide in the 32 truck. Now he forced that 24 to the middle lane. And Wells falls back behind the 12. Morgan trying to get ahead of Isaac Nichols. Because remember, even though the 51, the 12, the A7, and the 50 are the only ones with a shot at the championship, they're still battling everyone on the racetrack, every other chaser on the racetrack for those chase points that they need. So the 12 wants to beat the 29. He wants the 51 to fall back behind, say, the 10 or the 02, someone that's in the chase but cannot impact. Well, they can impact how the championship goes. They just can't win the championship themselves. 4 wide in the front. That is inside the top 5. Schoen's beating and banging with chaser Isaac Nichols. Stephen Baker, the 19, coming forward as they come down the backstretch. Side by side for a second. Steve Larker pulls away, and they're 3 and 4 wide behind the pack. See Jack Cameron starting to come forward in the 50 truck. Diego Yepes a little bit behind him. So they're going 4 wide further back inside the top 10. Still side by side for a second. Coluigi doing a great job hanging with Kukulon. At some point, one of these two are going to have to get clear of the other to have a run at Steve Larker. They just can't stay side by side and hope to gain on him. 3 wide Jeff Brett looking for his first of the season. Levi Schoen 3 wide just won at Talladega last race, so there's a lot of momentum riding with them as they come down the backstretch. See trucks right there moving around trying to find the right lane to be in. They go through 3 and 4. Morgan falling back in the 12. Mathis Wells in the middle lane trying to get something to work. We have not seen Yepes at all, and here comes Jack and Rama on the inside moving forward as the other two start falling back. Still side by side for a second. Luigi not giving up on the high side. Kukulon trying to keep it on the bomb lane. A little tight for the 32. Luigi's perseverance might pay off right here as they come off turn 2. He's getting a push from Stephen Baker. It looks like he might get clear. That was great by Code Luigi. He stayed patient, looking now, getting down to block the inside lane and looking for a run on Steve Larker. That was a great move by Code Luigi. He's looking on the inside of the 6 now as they go through 3 and 4. Code Luigi, he's wanting a Pennzoil Truck Series win badly this season as they race off of 4. 18 laps of racing to go in the season. Luigi leads in the 24 truck, but he has a whole pack of trucks hungry behind him for this race lead. Oliver Galloway coming from the back, and here comes Cameron inside the top 5 in the 50. He's up to 5th. 4th on the inside lane, looking low, and Tim Gary down the backstretch. Galloway for the race lead. Gary looking 3 wide for the lead in the 44. Big move out of Tim Gary for the race lead. Cameron to see put it 4 wide. Gonna stay with that 44 for now. 7 points behind Yepes. He was 6 behind Wells. He was 5 behind Morgan. Now he's looking to gain all that, going for the lead in turn 1. He's sliding up. They might look 4 wide for the lead. Alex Stewart pushing Canorama clear, and now your 50 truck out front. The long shot to win the championship out front at Homestead. Now we'll see if he can hold it though. Where's Yepes and the A7 still looking for him to try and come forward. We've not seen him at the front at all this race. Is he maybe just hanging back, waiting for the right opportunity to come forward? Trying to find out as Alex Stewart trying to grab the race lead as the pack shuffling. The pack is formed together, 3 and 4 wide racing all over the place. 16 laps to go in the season. Alex Stewart leads in the 28 truck. Cameron fighting hard on the outside lane, trying to get clear. Here comes Mark Owens in the 27. How about Trey Rainey coming forward? Season 1 Pennzoil Truck Series champion. As they wrecked in the middle of the pack. Or something happened. Yes, they did. The 23 and others have wrecked. The yellow flag is out. And which chasers are involved? Is it anyone in the championship? I don't see anyone. Like the A7 or any of them. I think they are all right. So we're racing back to the caution flag. Alex Stewart is going to lead Canorama back. I see at least 2 championship contenders. I see the 50 in this pack. I see the 51 at the edge of the pack. I'm trying to see if I find the 87 and the 12. Where is Steve Morgan? There he is, 19th. And Diego Yepes did get away in 23rd. This is now going to allow everyone to calm down, take a little rest. The yellow is out. And some drivers are involved. Levi Schoen's one of them to the pitch. Jeff Bright as well looking for his Pennzoil Truck Series victory this season. He's not going to get it. So we'll see what happens to bring out caution number 1 just before halfway here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Pushing and shoving in the pack. They're going 4 wide all over the place. And look at Marcus Sanchez in that 92 truck down low. He's getting a push from behind. And it just gets a little tight up the racetrack into Steven Taylor, up into DJ Reed, gets into Jeff Bright, into Michael Ferris, laying line, slams the wall. And look at Steve Morgan, barely missed that. Sprague 2 barely misses, and then Schoen's gets into Stephen Baker, and then Colton Yo hits the 22. So tough break for so many drivers here, but luckily none of the 4 battling for the championship were involved. They were around it. Steve Morgan and Yepes did a great job getting away. Just luckily, though, that no real big championship storylines were taken out by this crash. Absolutely, Colton Yo, tough break for him, trying to just gain every point he could in the chase, and he's involved in this crash. Let's go on board Steve Morgan. He was directly beneath this crash when it started, and he was able to miss it, just hit the gas and get away. You can see Jeff Wright right in front of him. DJ Reed was one of them as well. Oh, man. That's close for Steve Morgan. That could have been his championship gone. Remember, he's 2 points behind Yepes coming into this race. And Yepes, we've not talked about him all race. We've not seen him at the front. He's at the back of the field, and he barely misses this one. Luckily, he's in the middle lane, so he had a lot more protection than Morgan did, and did a great job there getting low and getting by. And Yepes still in this fight for the championship. Let's lay around the back, and now it's time to start pushing, because we're going to restart after halfway here in the Chevy 250. So back in front was the 28 of Alex Stewart, Jack Canaramo in second. They'll stay on the racetrack, and Alex Stewart will lead us back to the green flag after halfway. Coming down the backstretch to take the green flag with 11 laps of racing to go, 11 laps left in the Pennzoil Truck Series season. Jeff Bright out of this race. Levi Schoens is a lap down. Michael Ferris also damaged with Steven Taylor and Landon Lyons. They kept it in the race, so 34 trucks on the lead lap, 35 on the racetrack. As Alex Stewart leads us, Jack Canaramo 7 points behind. Your championship leader, as we mentioned, he runs second. Mark Owens third. Tim Gary fourth. Trey Rainey fifth. Then you have Justin Zeidel in sixth. Isaac Nichols seventh. Steve Larker eighth. Keith Stevens ninth. And Luke Rainey rounds out the top 10. Other championship favorites. Mathis Wells was 1 point behind Yepes coming into the race. He is 15th as of now. Steve Morgan 19th. He was 2 points behind Yepes. And Yepes, your points leader coming into this race, 20-30. He has not made up any ground. He has made up some. Has to make up more. He has to get up to the front if he wants a shot winning this championship. So here they come down the front stretch to the restart zone for Alex Stewart. And we're back racing in the Chevy 250. And Canaramo did not go. And Stewart got a great jump there. Canaramo may have spun the tires a little bit. And now Mark Owens looks for a second in the 27 as they go through 1 and 2. You need to just get up to the front now. 11 to go. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. They come down the back stretch. Mark Owens to second, trying to hold off Tim Gary as he tries to catch Alex Stewart. Morgan a little bit of a slow restart there, but trying to get back up to speed in the draft. Owens right to the back of Alex Stewart through 3 and 4. Trying to move to the inside as they come off of 4. As the pack accords together at the front. Side by side for the lead down the front stretch. Owens down low will lead with 10 laps of racing to go. Mark Owens in the 27. Now out front as Trey Rainey takes it 3 wide for the second position. He's looking on Tim Gary. Justin Zeidel coming forward. He barely lost at Talladega last race. He's looking for redemption. Here comes Zeidel 3 wide to the bottom lane as they turn 3. This is for the second position as Mark Owens leads the field as they come off turn number 4. 9 laps of racing to go. Sideways on the back was Isaac Nichols. He kept it straight. Zeidel trying to stay clear for second. 9 laps left. Who wins the championship? Here comes Keith Stevens. 3 wide. The 74 truck for third. Oliver Galloway behind. Cole Luigi, Luke Rainey, and there's Mathis Wells in the 51. 1 point behind Yepes, and we can see Yepes further back on the inside lane trying to move forward. 3 wide Galloway to the bottom lane, the 21 truck. Steve Larker trying to get clear. Zeidel attacks for the race lead on Mark Owens. Side by side as they come off turn number 4. Side by side to the stripe. 8 laps of racing to go now. Zeidel in the bottom lane. Owens up top. And they have 3 and 4 right for the back. Cole Luigi forced to move in the 24. That's for third. 4 wide to the bottom lane. He's going to make it work. Luigi the third. Go for second on Mark Owens. And Luke Rainey, the 80 emerging down the backstretch of their race. Cole Luigi's going to get to second. He has a huge run to Justin Zeidel as well. Here comes Mathis Wells inside the top 10. JJ Reed tight down low. That might allow Canaramo to get clear in the pack. Canaramo now in the bottom lane in the 50 truck. As Cole Luigi clears, he has 7 laps left. Luke Rainey looks 3 wide in the 88 truck. That's for the race lead. A push for Mathis Wells who wants to get out front. Mathis Wells, if he can get out front trying to control the lanes, it could be his. The 51 truck 3 wide to the bottom lane for the race lead down the backstretch. We're coming to see 6 laps of racing to go at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Jack Canaramo further back in the 50 truck. DJ Reed, can he try and get by the 51, shuffle that 51 out? It could be someone else's. Here comes DJ Reed to the bottom lane, a little loosely as he comes off 4. 6 laps of racing to go here at Homestead. Now Trey Rainey breaks low. That might allow Wells to get clear. And they do have the left truck ahead. A slower truck. How's this going to impact it? They have Steven Taylor and Michael Ferris who's way off pace. How's this going to impact the race? Where's Wells going to go? He's going to look to the high side. Now he's going to get blocked. And which lane's going to go? Canaramo, big run in the 50 truck. He's going to get by. Can Kukulon get by? Wells trying to get down in line. The whole outside lane blocked. And Diego Yepes emerged. 2 trucks pull away, coming to 5 laps left in the pack. Scrambling, and now they have another lap truck. Levi Schoens ahead, side by side. JJ Reed to the bottom with Canaramo. 5 to go in the season. JJ Reed's going to get clear, but can he get by Levi Schoens? Going to look to the high side. He gets checked up. Cameron trying to get around the outside of Shones. Shones comes up. Yepez is emerging to the top 5. Here comes the 87 Buford. And look at Cameron dodging to the inside lane. And somehow all 4 championship contenders have emerged from this pack to the front. Buford to the inside. Coming to 4 to go. But Diego Yepez is in 3rd and right now has the championship. Yepez trying to hold off the field. He has 4 laps. He has Cameron behind him. He can fall behind Cameron. That's all right. He cannot fall behind Wells. Although if he does fall behind Wells, if it's only 1 spot behind Wells, he would get the tiebreaker. He has more 4 season points than the 51 and the 12 and the 50. Now Tim Randolph moves to the inside of Yepez. Cameron takes it 3-1 in the 50. He needs something to happen. And here comes Steve Morgan in the 12. 3 laps to go at Homestead. Canorama leads in the 50. Trying to get the championship. Steve Morgan, Mathis Wells coming forward. Morgan to the inside. Trying to get ahead of Wells. And now Wells takes it 3-1 in the 51. Where's JJ Reed, Jonathan Buford going? Some of the others have come into the pack. And can Yepez get down low in time? Or can he just try and get ahead of Wells and Morgan? Here they come. We're coming to see 2 laps to go, 3 miles left. Mathis Wells out front and right now has the championship. 2 laps left at Homestead, 3 miles. Can Morgan get down line, try and shuffle that 51 out? Wells gets clear for now. But can they run down the draft? It's the big question. Buford tight in the bottom lane. Yepez trying to get through the middle. Down the backstretch for the penultimate time this season. We're coming to see the white flag. The final white flag of the Pennzoil Truck Series season. Season number 4 could be decided on this last lap. Yepez through the middle lane gets a great run. Buford is clear, but can they run down Wells in 1 lap? The white flag is waving. Last lap of Homestead. Mathis Wells. Can he stay out front ahead of the field? Yepez trying to get through the middle lane as they go through 1 and 2. And now down the backstretch. If Buford gets by the 51, it could be Yepez's championship. But Wells may be too far ahead. Off into turn number 3 for the final time. Buford, can he get there? Can Yepez get there? They have a slow track ahead. But it's going to be Mathis Wells. Trey Rainey, Julius Anderson, Cole Luigi. And now Mathis Wells may just won the championship. He wins the race. And it may have been the championship as well. As Wells wins, Buford ends up in the 3rd position. And Yepez was 5th. Which means Yepez did lose more than 1 point to Mathis Wells. And Wells has just won the Pennzoil Truck Series Season number 4 championship by winning the race. How about that? We had all 4 championship drivers up there at the end. And Mathis Wells got out front. No one could touch him as he wins the Chevy 250. Let's now go check the finishing results and see the chase standings. Here are the finishing results from the final race of season number 4, the Chevy 250 at the Homestead Miami Speedway. There was 1 caution flag for 4 laps and 11 lead changes among 9 different drivers. Mathis Wells started 3rd and won the race. Not only that, more importantly, he won the Pennzoil Truck Series Championship. That race win won him the championship. JJ Reed ends up 2nd here today. Jonathan Buford 3rd, William Bolin 4th, and Diego Yepez 5th was 2 spots for winning the championship. If he had finished ahead of Jonathan Buford, he would have been the Pennzoil Truck Series Season number 4 champion. Steve Morgan, close for him, but he ends up 6th and 3rd in the points. Trey Rainey 7th. That was a great result for him trying to move up in the points. Raspberry Tube 8th. Jack Canoramo 9th. And Tim Randolph rounds out the top 10. There is your top 20. You can see how much the lap trucks actually affected the finishing order. As you can see, these front few were actually pretty close together. These front 20 were pretty close together. But as we look down further, we see some drivers that were up there, but then fell at the end. So we see basically back about 22nd on back, lost the draft. Marcus Sanchi, Michael Canto, Keith Stevens, Isaac Nichols, Cole Luigi is one of the best trucks here tonight. DJ Ree was another great truck. Mark Owens. Then you had Colton Yo, Stephen Baker, Landlines. How about Luke Rainey? Either something went really wrong on the 88 or he got really stuck by the lap traffic and he falls to 32nd, and it's been a miserable chase for him and his team. Obviously the trucks that really affected the outcome, Steven Taylor, Michael Ferris, and Levi Schoens were all the lap trucks that slowed your race leaders at the end. So before we look at the chase standings, let's go look and see how the full season points would have played out, because that obviously breaks any tiebreakers in the chase points. If there were no chase, this is how it would have played out. Yepez would have beat Wells by 50 points. Buford would have been 3rd, Yo would have been 4th, and Bowers 5th, Schoen 6th, Canorama 7th. However, none of this matters. As we look at the right side are the actual points. Mathis Wells, by 1 point over Yepez, wins the championship. Steve Morgan, third. Then you actually had a tiebreaker, fourth and fifth. Jonathan Buford actually gets fourth over the 50 Jack Canaramo. Buford just a little bit ahead of Canaramo in the full season's points, so they finish fourth and fifth with the same amount of points. Then sixth was Trey Rainey. Seventh goes to Carson Bowers. And then eighth, Keith Stevens. Ninth was Colton Yo. And then 10th, Luke Rainey. 11th, Isaac Nichols. And Marcus Sachi rounds up the Chasers in 12th. So that's how the chase went this season. We look at some of these drivers that, 12 top 10s for Diego Yepes, the most of anyone this season. He obviously had a pretty good season, but those 3 DNFs and maybe just the chase, a little bit inconsistency in the chase. He never was really bad, but Mathis was just that little bit better, that 1 point better. Most top 5s on the season goes to Carson Bowers. He got 9 top 5s, and we had 2 drivers win 4 races, obviously Bowers and Yo. Both won a total of 4 races each. Down here, laps led, see how many laps led everyone did. Justin Zaydell led 48 laps this season, probably the most of anyone, if not someone below had more. Look down at the rest of these drivers. See all these drivers in here. Maybe some bad luck. See Jeff Brad 10 top 10s. Obviously that's a double digits, a very good number, but those 16 Fs obviously hurt him. Same with some other drivers down here, but what a season that was in the Pennzoil Truck Series. 1 point decided it all. We thought it was going to be pretty close, and when the driver needs to win the race to win the championship, that's a pretty exciting championship that you had going on. So once again, thanks everyone for signing up and watching. Obviously another very successful Pennzoil Truck Series season. We obviously have 2 more championships to be decided. The Target Series will be decided tomorrow, where Adam McDowell leads Joey Trickle by, I believe, 9 points. So that's going to be pretty wild. And then you have the Gary Cup Series, where a few drivers do have a shot. Carter Friesen leads TJ Henley by, I believe, 7 points. I believe Steven Taylor's 9 points back. Luke Rainey's like 10 points back, and Octavia's about 11 points back. So that's going to be another exciting championship finish as well. Should be a fun last 2 races for those series. Thanks to everyone who signed up. Thanks to everyone who made paint schemes. Code Luigi, TJ Hanley, Luke Rainey, the list goes on and on. Jake Galloway, Jay Jefferson, Carter Friesen, Derek Hamill made some, Colton Yo made, the list goes on and on. I can't even remember who all made paint schemes because a ton of people made paint schemes for themselves. But once again, thanks to everyone for making those paint schemes. Congratulations to your season number 4 Pennzoil Truck Series champion, Mathis Wells, on winning the championship. It was a great championship battle there. Wells just edged out his competitors there at the end to win the race and the championship. So I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys for those next 2 races in the Target Series and the Gary Cup Series.